Hey YouTube, Lawler here with some predictions. It's been a while since we've done one of these, but in the next couple of weeks, we've got the FIFA E World Cup and all the rosters locked and solidified. And because of that, we decided to go through and tell you guys who we think is going to perform the best. We're going to, easy way of doing this is always, if you guys want to stay a part of these, like, subscribe, turn notifications, helps me out greatly. But we've already done our predictions on stream, and now I'm going to give you the quick version of it. Otherwise, it would take way too long. So with that in mind, we're going to go through Group A and talk about the results, and then we'll talk about Group B after. They're all on screen, so you guys can kind of see how I feel about them. But primarily, I think out of Group A, there is some pretty clear favorited teams. I think the same thing technically applies over in Group B. That has changed a little bit on the order due to the recent information, and I'll explain why. So the first thing in Group A, are 1 through 4, the ones that I expect to win in and go into the playoffs, are in order: Saudi, Spain, England, and the Netherlands. With Saudi, I think it makes sense. The Falcons is a very, very solid team. They've been competitive throughout all of last season. But the reality is, like, I don't know who in this bracket is going to be able to beat them competitively. A lot of people actually surprised for number 2 being Spain. We did get an early glimpse of this team when they were representing Koi over at KCX, the Carmine Corp Expo event, where they actually went toe-to-toe with K-Corp. I think it went all the way to Game 7. It was super competitive. A lot of people also behind the scenes, Jack included, talking about how this team has been doing very well in scrims. For those that are unfamiliar with the team, it is CRR, Stizzy, and Atomic. Very, very talented team with a lot of potential, but consistency is my only concern. I think overall the team has a ton of potential to play upset, and I would not be surprised, because I do have these extremely close, England bumping them out. As for the England team, it is going to be Joyo, Archie, and God, who's their third? Why can't I think off the top of my head? Joyo, Archie, Rise. Is that right? And Rise. Joyo, Archie, and Rise. I know there was conversations of, do we go with Jack or not? And they said we want to go with Archie because of the chemistry that he already has with Joyo. So I think that team, if they can kind of pull together what they did at the World Championship, no doubt that the team can be super competitive. And I'm a big fan. If you put Rise on the team, it's going to add a different level of firepower, different level of stability. That should make them relatively competitive. So for the England team, I think they have the chance to place top 2, but I'm giving the slight edge to Spain just for fun. But realistically, I think these could go either way. It's going to come down to their head-to-head and how points play out. As a general update for these, I know these say BO2. You can't have a best of 2 because a best of means that it has to be an odd number, because if they win one game, that means they have won more than half and it's over. So these are actually sets of 2. They will play 2 games in each round, and they will play each other twice in a double round robin. So Saudi will play Spain twice, England twice, Netherlands twice, Australia twice, so on and so forth. They play 2 matches, and after all that is done, if it's a tie, they get a point. If it is a win and they go 2-0, they get 3 points. And if they lose, they don't get any points. So, for example, in this first round, both teams get 1 point. Saudi gets 2 points, 1 point. Netherlands gets 2 points, or 3 points. My apologies. Not 2 points. They get 3 points. And that's how the point totals are done, just so you guys have an idea. So, with that, I then have England as number 3, as we just went over. And then number 4, we've got the Netherlands. I have just seen this team compete. And no offense to Mike Boy, I think he is a serious downgrade from Nas, who is one of the most sought-after players right now. But Joris and Ole are still very, very talented. They're still super competitive. Whether Mike Boy will fit in and allow them to beat out Australia, I don't know, because the new Australian team that we're going to be seeing competing, I think, does have a lot of talent. But I think in Australian fashion, they will be competitive, but they will just miss out. I literally have them going dead even, which is an accidental surprise. I always find a way to somehow do that with the script. Outside of that, unfortunately for South Africa, I could see them taking a couple games here and there, but I think they're heavily outweighted. I think Raziers and the boys on Germany are pretty dang solid, and same for Belgium with Atau, Astral, and Compact. I think there is a lot of chance for them to do better. Realistically, I could see Belgium being a lot closer to Australia, but I want to give and pay some love to Australia. On the other side, on the low side, our top 4, and I'm not trying to spoil those too early. My apologies for those that got to see that playoff bracket. I think France is the clear dominance. You literally have the superstars and the super team all coming together. We didn't know if it was going to happen or not, but we literally have what is the 3 best players in Europe coming together. The 3+ players, arguably some in the world, coming together with Monkey Moon, Vatira, and Zen. I am more than excited to watch that team compete and see what they look like. And if you put 3 superstar players together, what it will look like. As you guys have heard me talk in previous videos, I'm very keen on Morocco. I think Itachi, Drali, and Nas is a insane team. Whether they were going to mesh and gel and play well together is a different story. I'm choosing to believe in it, but I don't know for certain. Very curious to see how that plays out. As for Brazil, we do have the Furia roster, who has proven to be competitive, and rightfully so. I have them doing that and keeping more of the same. Last but not least, and there's some people that have kind of been in between on these, and I think it does get a little bit close between what we see. I think Chile and Argentina are going to be competitive and going back and forth. It just depends on if you believe in Ray's Bull in the crew or AJ Chi in the crew. I think both have upsides, both have downsides. And realistically, Brazil has shown all throughout South American history that they are just better. It is Fury at the top, and then the rest, similar to how it was G2 at the top, and then the rest in North America. But they are clear standouts, and I personally believe that's going to be better. And if you guys haven't seen the latest news, it is no longer First Killer, Atomic, and Daniel. It is now RMC, which is likely going to become Gen G, which is Redo's Magic Bear and Cheese. I think this is a team that has proven that they can go and compete at majors. They can be competitive, but when it comes to playing against the top, they struggle. People don't succumb to the pressure of the demos as much. People are a little bit better at controlling boost and doing the things. I will say, though, RMC has done a good job during the offseason of adding another element to their gameplay. I personally don't know if it's going to be enough. The benefit, though, is they're playing full strength with their team versus some teams that are makeshift. Whether that's going to be good enough or not, I don't know. Some people believe that Chile could beat out RMC. Again, it's about consistency, and I've seen this team has found a way to be frustrating no matter who. So, with that in mind, 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3, 3 plays 2, and 4 plays 1. Because that, we go to our playoff bracket, which we're going to reveal here. I think it's pretty straightforward. I think, unfortunately for RMC, we have seen this team before in international competition, and while they can be competitive against teams like Vitality, when it comes to the top dogs, they've struggled. Saudi is sending full-strength Falcons. I think that team is still very, very good, except for the pressure on the grand final. This will be on home soil for the Falcons. Whether that makes a difference or not, we'll have to wait and see. It didn't matter last time against BDS. So, I think they're going to beat USA in the first round. Morocco, England, I had a hard time picking between two. I am choosing to believe in the Moroccan team. I think that team is stacked for talent. I think they're so good. But we've also seen what that England team can do. Well, we got a little taste of that with Oxygen at the major recently, where they made that lower bracket run. But I'm choosing to believe in Morocco. That's just a personal preference. Up next, France versus Netherlands. I've seen them able to take a game. Literally, when I was there for flip and spin with the guys, except for we had Nas instead of Mike Boy. I wouldn't be surprised if France 4-0s this, but I think they will put up a little bit of a fight because the guys are still extremely competitive. But who knows? Maybe they don't mesh as well as we think they do. We'll have to wait and see. And outside of that, Spain-Brazil, I think, is a fun and interesting fight. CRR obviously gets a lot of exposure to these guys during the regular season, although we are seeing that team now come into the United States for next season. But CRR, Stizzy, and Atomic have been competing well. A lot of people have been saying it's actually been pretty dope to watch them compete and stuff. Whether that's going to be able to stand the time against the Furia roster, I personally am choosing to believe in Furia until we get into the semifinals where they play the big bad France. This ain't no team Vitality. France should win that pretty healthily. And then between Morocco and Saudi, I think that could go either way. I think it's going to come down to a matter of moments, which I think is going to be super competitive. But I think Morocco, personally, I would like to see them do well. So that is what I'm picking. I'm going with my heart here and having them move forward to go up against France, where they inevitably lose to what is that super French team that looks oh so good. So that is what I have for my predictions. And as I state always,
as a mom,
I don't say that as a mom. I'm going to choose to say what I always do, which is I know these are going to be wrong. It's just for entertainment. I have full expectations that things are going to change. I wouldn't be surprised if other wild upsets like Chile or Argentina or somebody else pops off. Maybe you see Belgium or Germany qualify over the Netherlands. I don't know how things are going to go. I am excited to find out. We will cover these after everything is all said and done. But that is what I have. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys have for your predictions? Who are your top 8 in order? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to see it. That's going to do it for today's video. As always, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Helps me out greatly. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace.